Hello. Welcome. Where were we? Believe it was chapter 21 of the Gospel according to St. Matthew here in the Holy Bible. I got a King James I'm reading. So this is we'll continue here. This is the rest of the God. We're going to finish up the book of Matthew here. So here we go, chapter 21. And when they drew nigh unto Jerusalem and were come to Bethphage unto the Mount of Olives, then sent Jesus 2 disciples, saying unto them, Go into the village over against you, and straightway ye shall find an ass tied and a colt with her. Loose them and bring them unto me. And if any man say aught unto you, ye shall say, The Lord hath need of them, and straightway he will send them. All this was done that it might be fulfilled, which was spoken by the prophet, saying, Tell ye the daughter of Sion, Behold, thy king cometh unto thee meek, and sitting upon an ass, and a colt the foal of an ass. And the disciples went and did as Jesus commanded them, and brought the ass and the colt, and put on them their clothes, and they set him thereon. And a very great multitude spread their garments in the way. Others cut down branches from the trees and strawed them in the way. And the multitudes that went before and that followed cried, saying, Hosanna to the Son of David. Blessed is he that cometh in the name of the Lord. Hosanna in the highest. And when he was come into Jerusalem, all the city was moved, saying, Who is this? And the multitude said, This is Jesus, the prophet of Nazareth of Galilee. And Jesus went into the temple of God and cast out all them that sold and bought in the temple, and overthrew the tables of the money changers and the seats of them that sold doves, and said unto them, It is written, My house shall be called the house of prayer, but ye have made it a den of thieves. And the blind and the lame came to him in the temple, and he healed them. And when the chief priests and scribes saw the wonderful things that he did, and the children crying in the temple and saying, Hosanna to the Son of David, they were sore displeased, and said unto him, Hearest thou what these say? And Jesus saith unto them, Yea, have ye never read, Out of the mouth of babes and sucklings thou hast perfected praise? And he left them, and went out of the city into Bethany, and he lodged there. Now in the morning, as he returned into the city, he hungered. And when he saw a fig tree in the way, he came to it, and found nothing thereon but leaves only, and said unto it, Let no fruit grow on thee henceforward forever. And presently the fig tree withered away. And when the disciples saw it, they marveled, saying, How soon is the fig tree withered away? Jesus answered and said unto them, Verily I say unto you, if ye have faith and doubt not, ye shall not only do this which is done to the fig tree, But also, if ye shall say unto this mountain, Be thou removed, and be thou cast into the sea, it shall be done. And all things, whatever ye shall ask in prayer, believing ye shall receive. And when he was come into the temple, the chief priests and the elders of the people came unto him as he was teaching, and said, By what authority doest thou these things? And who gave thee this authority? And Jesus answered and said unto them, I also will ask you one thing, which if ye tell me, I and likewise will tell you by what authority I do these things. The baptism of John, whence was it? From heaven or of men? And they reasoned with themselves, saying, If we shall say, From heaven, he will say unto us, Why did ye not then believe him? But if we shall say of men, we fear the people, for all hold John as a prophet. And they answered Jesus and said, We cannot tell. And he said unto them, Neither tell I you by what authority I do these things. But what think ye? A certain man had 2 sons, and he came to the first and said, Son, go work today in my vineyard. He answered and said, I will not. But afterward he repented and went. And he came to the second and said likewise. And he answered and said, I go, sir, and went not. Whether of them twain did the will of his father? They say unto him, the first. Jesus saith unto them, Verily I say unto you, that the publicans and the harlots go into the kingdom of God before you. For John came unto you in the way of righteousness, and ye believed him not. But the publicans and the harlots believed him, and ye, when ye had seen it, repented not afterward, that ye might believe him. Hear another parable. There was a certain householder which planted a vineyard, and hedged it round about, and digged a winepress in it, and built a tower, and let it out to husbandmen, and went into a far country. And when the time of the fruit drew near, he sent his servants to the husbandmen, that they might receive the fruits of it. And the husbandman took his servants, and beat one, and killed another, and stoned another. Again he sent other servants more than the first, and they did unto them likewise. But last of all he sent unto them his son, saying, They will reverence my son. But when the husbandmen saw the son, they said among themselves, This is the heir. Come, let us kill him, and let us seize on his inheritance. And they caught him, and cast him out of the vineyard, and slew him. When the Lord therefore of the vineyard cometh, what will he do unto those husbandmen? They say unto him, He will miserably destroy those wicked men, and will let out his vineyard unto their other husbandmen, which shall render him the fruits in their seasons. Jesus saith unto them, Did ye never read in the scriptures, The stone which the builders rejected, the same is become the head of the corner. This is the Lord's doing, and it is marvelous in our eyes. Therefore I say unto you, the kingdom of God shall be taken from you, and given to a nation bringing forth the fruits thereof. And whosoever shall fall on this stone shall be broken. But on whomsoever it shall fall, it will grind him to powder. And when the chief priests and Pharisees had heard his parables, they perceived that he spake of them. But when they sought to lay hands on him, they feared the multitude, because they took him for a prophet. Very nice. Thank you, Craig. Thank you for the money, Kenny. Let's go ahead and continue into chapter 22. And Jesus answered and spake unto them again by parables, and said, The kingdom of heaven is like unto a certain king, which made a marriage for his son, and sent forth his servants to call them that were bidden to the wedding, and they would not come. Again, he sent forth other servants, saying, Tell them which are bidden, Behold, I have prepared my dinner. My oxen and my fatlings are killed, and all things are ready. Come unto the marriage. But they made light of it, and went their ways, one to his farm, another to his merchandise. And the remnant took his servants, and entreated them spitefully, and slew them. But when the king heard thereof, he was wroth, and he sent forth his armies, and destroyed those murderers, and burned up their city. Then saith he to his servants, The wedding is ready, but they which were bidden were not ready. Go ye therefore into the highways, and as many as ye shall find, bid to the marriage. So those servants went out into the highways, and gathered together all as many as they found, both bad and good. And the wedding was furnished with guests. And when the king came in to see the guests, he saw there a man which had not on a wedding garment. And he saith unto him, Friend, how camest thou in hither not having a wedding garment? And he was speechless. Then said the king to the servants, Bind him hand and foot, and take him away, and cast him into outer darkness. There shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth. For many are called, but few are chosen. Then went the Pharisees and took counsel how they might entangle him in his talk. And they sent out unto him their disciples with the Herodians, saying, Master, we know that thou art true, and teachest the way of God in truth. Neither carest thou for any man, for thou regardest not the person of men. Tell us therefore, what thinkest thou? Is it lawful to give tribute unto Caesar or not? But Jesus perceived their wickedness, and said, Why tempt ye me, ye hypocrites? Shew me the tribute money. And they brought unto him a penny. And he saith unto them, Whose is this image and superscription? They say unto him, Caesar's. Then saith he unto them, Render therefore unto Caesar the things which are Caesar's, and unto God the things that are God's. When they had heard these words, they marveled, and left him, and went their way. The same day came to him the Sadducees, which say that there is no resurrection, and asked him, saying, Master, Moses said, If a man die having no children, his brother shall marry his wife, and raise up seed unto his brother. Now there were with us 7 brethren, and the first, when he had married a wife, deceased, and, having no issue, left his wife unto his brother. Likewise the second also, and the third unto the 7th. And last of all, the woman died also. Therefore, in the resurrection, whose wife shall she be of the 7? For they all had her. Jesus answered and said unto them, Ye do err, not knowing the scriptures, nor the power of God. For in the resurrection they neither marry, nor are given in marriage, but are as the angels of God in heaven. But as touching the resurrection of the dead, have ye not read that which was spoken unto you by God, saying, I am the God of Abraham, and the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. God is not the God of the dead, but of the living. And when the multitude heard this, they were astonished at his doctrine. But when the Pharisees had heard that he had put the Sadducees to silence, they were gathered together. Then one of them, which was a lawyer, asked him a question, tempting him and saying, Master, which is the great commandment in the law? Jesus said unto him, Thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy mind. This is the first and great commandment. And the second is like unto it. Thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. On these two commandments hang all the law of the prophets. While the Pharisees were gathered together, Jesus asked them, saying, What think ye of Christ? Whose son is he? They say unto him, The son of David. He saith unto them, How then doth David in spirit call him Lord, saying, The Lord said unto my Lord, Sit thou on my right hand till I make thine enemies thy footstool. If David then called him Lord, how is he his son? And no man was able to answer him a word, neither durst any man from that day forth ask him any more questions. Chapter 23. Then spake Jesus to the multitude and to his disciples, saying, The scribes and the Pharisees sit in Moses' seat. All therefore whatsoever they bid you observe, that observe and do. But do not ye after their works, for they say, and do not. For they bind heavy burdens and grievous to be borne, and lay them on men's shoulders, but they themselves will not move them with one of their fingers. But all their works they do for to be seen of men. They make broad their phylacteries and enlarge the borders of their garments, and love the uppermost rooms at feasts and the chief seats in the synagogues, and greetings in the markets, and to be called of men, Rabbi, Rabbi. But be not ye called Rabbi, for one is your master, even Christ, and all ye are brethren. And call no man your father upon the earth, for one is your Father which is in heaven. Neither be ye called masters, for one is your master, even Christ. But he that is greatest among you shall be your servant. And whosoever shall exalt himself shall be abased, and he that shall humble himself shall be exalted. But woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites! For ye shut up the kingdom of heaven against men, for ye neither go in yourselves, neither suffer ye them that are entering to go in. Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites! For ye devour widows' houses, and for a pretense make long prayer, therefore ye shall receive the greater damnation. Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites! For ye compass sea and land to make one proselyte, and when he is made, ye make him twofold more the child of hell than yourselves. Woe unto you, ye blind guides, which say, Whosoever shall swear by the temple, it is nothing. But whosoever shall swear by the gold of the temple, he is a debtor. Ye fools and blind, for whether is greater, the gold or the temple that sanctifieth the gold? And whosoever shall swear by the altar, it is nothing. But whosoever sweareth by the gift that is upon it, he is guilty. Ye fools and blind! For whether is greater, the gift or the altar that sanctifieth the gift? Whoso therefore shall swear by the altar, sweareth by it and by all things thereon. And whoso shall swear by the temple, sweareth by it and by him that dwelleth therein. And he that shall swear by heaven sweareth by the throne of God, and by him that sitteth thereon. Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites! For ye pay tithe of mint and anise and cumin, and have omitted the weightier matters of the law, judgment, mercy, and faith. These ought ye to have done, and not to leave the other undone. Ye blind guides, which strain at a gnat and swallow a camel. Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites! For ye make clean the outside of the cup and of the platter, but within they are full of extortion and excess. Thou blind Pharisee, cleanse first that which is within the cup and platter, that the outside of them may be clean also. Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites! For ye are like unto whited sepulchres, which indeed appear beautiful outward, but are within full of dead men's bones, and of all uncleanness. Even so ye also outwardly appear righteous unto men, but within ye are full of hypocrisy and iniquity. Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites! Because ye build the tombs of the prophets, and garnish the sepulchres of the righteous, and say, if we had been in the days of our fathers, we would not have been partakers with them in the blood of the prophets. Wherefore ye be witnesses unto yourselves, that ye are the children of them which killed the prophets. Fill ye up then the measure of your fathers, ye serpents, ye generation of vipers, and how can ye escape the damnation of hell? Wherefore, behold, I send unto you prophets and wise men and scribes, and some of them ye shall kill and crucify, and some of them shall ye scourge in your synagogues and persecute them from city to city, that upon you may come all the righteous bloodshed upon the earth, from the blood of righteous Abel unto the blood of Zacharias, son of Barachias, whom ye slew between the temple and the altar. Verily I say unto you, all these things shall come upon this generation. O Jerusalem, Jerusalem, thou that killest the prophets and stonest them which are sent unto thee, how often would I have gathered thy children together, even as a hen gathereth her chickens under her wings, and ye would not. Behold, your house is left unto you desolate. For I say unto you, ye shall not see me henceforth, till ye shall say, blessed is he that cometh in the name of the Lord. Chapter 24. And Jesus went out and departed from the temple, and his disciples came to him for to shew him the buildings of the temple. And Jesus said unto them, see ye not all these things? Verily I say unto you, there shall not be left here one stone upon another that shall not be thrown down. And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, tell us, when shall these things be? And what shall be the sign of thy coming and of the end of the world? And Jesus answered and said unto them, take heed that no man deceive you. For many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ, and shall deceive many. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled. For all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. And there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in divers places. All these are the beginning of sorrows. Then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted, and shall kill you. And ye shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake. And then shall many be offended, and shall betray one another, and shall hate one another. And many false prophets shall rise, and shall deceive many. And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. But he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved. And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations, and then shall the end come. When ye therefore shall see the abomination of desolation spoken of by Daniel the prophet, stand in the holy place. Whoso readeth, let him understand. Then let them which be in Judea flee into the mountains. Let him which is on the housetop not come down to take anything out of his house. Neither let him which is in the field return back to take his clothes. And woe unto them that are with child, and to them that give suck in those days. But pray ye that your flight be not in the winter, neither on the Sabbath day. For then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, no, nor ever shall be. And except those days should be shortened, there should be no flesh be saved. But for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. Then if any man shall say unto you, Lo, here is Christ, or there, believe it not. For there shall arise false Christs and false prophets, and shall shew great signs and wonders, insomuch that, if it were possible, they shall deceive the very elect. Behold, I have told you before. Wherefore, if they shall say unto you, Behold, he is in the desert, go not forth. Behold, he is in the secret chambers, believe it not. For as the lightning cometh out of the east, and shineth even unto the west, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. For wheresoever the carcass is, there will the eagles be gathered together. Immediately after the tribulation of those days shall the sun be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light, and the stars shall fall from heaven, and the powers of the heavens shall be shaken. And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven, and then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. And he shall send his angels with a great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect from the four winds, from one end of heaven to the other. Now learn a parable of the fig tree. When his branch is yet tender, and putteth forth leaves, ye know that summer is nigh. So likewise ye, when ye shall see all these things, know that it is near, even at the doors. Verily, I say unto you, this generation shall not pass till all these things be fulfilled. Heaven and earth shall pass away, but my words shall not pass away. But of that day and hour knoweth no man, no, not the angels of heaven, but my Father only. But as the day of Noe were, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. For as in the days that were before the flood, they were eating and drinking, marrying, and giving in marriage until the day that Noah, it's spelled N-O-E here, so it's not Noe, it's Noah, entered into the ark, and knew not until the flood came and took them all away, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. Then shall two be in the field, the one shall be taken and the other left. Two women shall be grinding at the mill, the one shall be taken and the other left. Watch therefore, for ye know not what hour your Lord doth come. But know this, that if the good man of the house had known in what watch the thief would come, he would have watched and would not have suffered his house to be broken up. Therefore be ye also ready, for in such an hour as ye think not the Son of Man cometh. Who then is a faithful and wise servant, whom his Lord hath made ruler over his household, to give them meat in due season? Blessed is that servant, whom his Lord, when he cometh, shall find so doing. Verily, I say unto you, that he shall make him ruler over all his goods. But, and if that evil servant shall say in his heart, my Lord delayeth his coming, and shall begin to smite his fellow servants, and to eat and drink with the drunken, the Lord of that servant shall come in a day when he looketh not for him, and in an hour that he is not aware of, and shall cut him asunder, and appoint him his portion with the hypocrites. There shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth. Then shall the kingdom of heaven be likened unto 10 virgins, which took their lamps and went forth to meet the bridegroom. And 5 of them were wise, and 5 were foolish. They that were foolish took their lamps and took no oil with them. But the wise took oil in their vessels with their lamps. While the bridegroom tarried, they all slumbered and slept. And at midnight there was a cry made, Behold, the bridegroom cometh, go ye out to meet him. Then all those virgins arose and trimmed their lamps. And the foolish said unto the wise, Give us of your oil, for our lamps are gone out. But the wise answered, saying, Not so, lest there be not enough for us and by you, and not enough for us and you. But go ye rather to them that sell and buy for yourselves. And while they went to buy, the bridegroom came, and they that were ready went in with him to the marriage, and the door was shut. Afterward came also the other virgins, saying, Lord, Lord, open to us. But he answered and said, Verily I say unto you, I know you not. Watch therefore, for ye know neither the day nor the hour wherein the Son of Man cometh. For the kingdom of heaven is as a man traveling into a far country, who called his own servants and delivered unto them his goods. And unto one he gave 5 talents, to another 2, and to another 1, and to every man according to his several ability, and straightway took his journey. Then he that had received the 5 talents went and traded with the same, and made them other 5 talents. And likewise he that had received 2, he also gained other 2. But he that had received 1 went and digged in the earth, and hid his Lord's money. After a long time the Lord of those servants cometh, and reckoneth with them. And so he that had received 5 talents came and brought other 5 talents, saying, Lord, thou deliveredst unto me 5 talents. Behold, I have gained beside them 5 talents more. His Lord said unto him, Well done, thou good and faithful servant. Thou hast been faithful over a few things. I will make thee ruler over many things. Enter thou into the joy of thy Lord. He also that had received 2 talents came and said, Lord, thou deliveredst unto me 2 talents. Behold, I have gained 2 other talents beside them. His Lord said unto him, Well done, good and faithful servant. Thou hast been faithful over a few things. I will make thee ruler over many things. Enter thou into the joy of thy Lord. Then he which had received the 1 talent came and said, Lord, I knew thee that thou art an hard man, reaping where thou hast not sown, and gathering where thou hast not strawed. And I was afraid, and went and hid thy talent in the earth. Lo, there thou hast that is thine. His Lord answered and said unto him, Thou wicked and slothful servant, thou knewest that I reap where I sowed not, and gather where I have not strawed. Thou oughtest therefore to have put my money to the exchangers, and then at my coming I should have received mine own with usury. Take therefore the talent from him, and give it unto him which hath 10 talents. For unto every one that hath shall be given, and he shall have abundance. But from him that hath not shall be taken away even that which he hath. And cast ye the unprofitable servant into outer darkness. There shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth. When the Son of Man shall come in his glory, and all the holy angels with him, then shall he sit upon the throne of his glory, and before him shall be gathered all nations. And he shall separate them one from another, as a shepherd divideth his sheep from the goats. And he shall set the sheep on his right hand, but the goats on the left. Then shall the king say unto them on his right hand, Come, ye blessed of my Father, inherit the kingdom prepared for you from the foundation of the world. For I was an hungered, and ye gave me meat. I was thirsty, and ye gave me drink. I was a stranger, and ye took me in. Naked, and ye clothed me. I was sick, and ye visited me. I was in prison, and ye came unto me. Pause. Then shall the righteous answer him, saying, Lord, when saw we thee and hungered, and fed thee, or thirsty, and gave thee drink? When saw we thee a stranger, and took thee in, or naked, and clothed thee? Or when saw we thee sick, or in prison, and came unto thee? And the king shall answer and say unto them, Verily I say unto you, inasmuch as ye have done it unto one of the least of these my brethren, ye have done it unto me. Then shall he say also unto them on the left hand, Depart from me, ye cursed, into everlasting fire, prepared for the devil and his angels. For I was an hungered, and ye gave me no meat. I was thirsty, and ye gave me no drink. I was a stranger, and ye took me not in. Naked, and ye clothed me not. Sick and in prison, and ye visited me not. Then shall they also answer him, saying, Lord, when saw we thee and hungered, or athirst, or a stranger, or naked, or sick, or in prison, and did not minister unto thee? Then shall he answer them, saying, Verily I say unto you, inasmuch as ye did it not to one of the least of these, ye did it not to me. And these shall go away into everlasting punishment, but the righteous into life eternal. Chapter 26. How's everybody feeling so far? We're this is, we're doing the reading series here. We're about to finish up the book of Matthew here, and yeah, we got a little bit left here. So yeah, this is chapter 26 of the Gospel according to St. Matthew. Thank you for asking me this question here, Corn Dog Wallace. He wants to know, Dalton, how's your day today? My day is bad. I've had a bad day, but I leave that at the door when I show up for service. So I'm feeling the Holy Spirit move through me now, and I am rejoicing in the community that we share with one another. Chapter 26. And it came to pass, when Jesus had finished all these sayings, he said unto his disciples, Ye know that after 2 days is the feast of the Passover, and the Son of Man is betrayed to be crucified. Then assembled together the chief priests and the scribes and the elders of the people unto the palace of the high priest, who was called Caiaphas. and consulted that they might take Jesus by subtlety and kill him. But they said, not on the feast day, lest there be an uproar among the people. Now when Jesus was in Bethany, in the house of Simon the leper, there came unto him a woman having an alabaster box of very precious ointment, and poured it on his head as he sat at meat. But when his disciples saw it, they had indignation, saying, to what purpose is this waste? For this ointment might have been sold for much and given to the poor. When Jesus understood it, he said unto them, why trouble ye the woman? For she hath wrought a good work upon me. For ye have the poor always with you, but me ye have not always. For in that she hath poured this ointment on my body, she did it for my burial. Verily I say unto you, wheresoever this gospel shall be preached in the whole world, there shall also this that this woman hath done be told for a memorial of her. Then one of the 12, called Judas Iscariot, went unto the chief priests and said unto them, what will ye give me, and I will deliver him unto you? And they covenanted with him for 30 pieces of silver. And from that time he sought opportunity to betray him. Now, the first day of the feast of unleavened bread, the disciples came to Jesus, saying unto him, where wilt thou that we prepare for thee to eat the Passover? And he said, go into the city to such a man, and say unto him, the master saith, my time is at hand. I will keep the Passover at thy house with my disciples. And the disciples did as Jesus had appointed them, and they made ready the Passover. Now when the even was come, he sat down with the 12. And as they did eat, he said, verily I say unto you that one of you shall betray me. And they were exceeding sorrowful, and began every one of them to say unto him, Lord, is it I? And he answered and said, he that dippeth his hand with me in the dish, the same shall betray me. The Son of Man goeth as it is written of him, but woe unto that man by whom the Son of Man is betrayed. It had been good for that man if he had not been born. Then Judas, which betrayed him, answered and said, Master, is it I? He said unto him, thou hast said. And as they were eating, Jesus took bread and blessed it, and brake it, and gave it to the disciples, and said, take, eat. This is my body. And he took the cup and gave thanks, and gave it to them, saying, drink ye all of it. For this is my blood of the New Testament, which is shed for many for remission of sins. But I say unto you, I will not drink henceforth of this fruit of the vine until that day when I drink it new with you in my Father's kingdom. And when they had sung an hymn, they went out into the Mount of Olives. Then saith Jesus unto them, all ye shall be offended because of me this night, for it is written, I will smite the shepherd, and the sheep of the flock shall be scattered abroad. But after I am risen again, I will go before you into Galilee. Peter answered and said unto him, though all men shall be offended because of thee, yet will I never be offended. Jesus said unto him, verily I say unto thee, that this night before the cock crow, thou shalt deny me thrice. Peter said unto him, though I should die with thee, yet will I not deny thee. Likewise also said all the disciples. Then cometh Jesus with them unto a place called Gethsemane, saith unto the disciples, sit ye here while I go and pray yonder. And he took with him Peter and the 2 sons of Zebedee, and they began to be sorrowful and very heavy. Then saith he unto them, my soul is exceeding sorrowful, even unto death. Tarry ye here and watch with me. And he went a little further and fell on his face and prayed, saying, O my Father, if it be possible, let this cup pass from me. Nevertheless, not as I will, but as thou wilt. And he came unto the disciples, and findeth them asleep, and saith unto Peter, What? Could ye not watch with me 1 hour? Watch and pray that ye enter not into temptation. The spirit indeed is willing, but the flesh is weak. He went away again the second time and prayed, saying, O my Father, if this cup may not pass away from me, except I drink it, thy will be done. And he came and found them asleep again, for their eyes were heavy. And he left them and went away again, and prayed the third time, saying the same words. Then cometh he to his disciples, and saith unto them, Sleep on now, and take your rest. Behold, the hour is at hand, and the Son of Man is betrayed into the hand of sinners. Rise, let us be going. Behold, he is at hand that doth betray me. And while he yet spake, lo, Judas, one of the 12, came, and with him a great multitude with swords and staves from the chief priests and elders of the people. Now he that betrayed him gave them a sign, saying, Whomsoever I shall kiss, that same is he, hold him fast. And forthwith he came to Jesus and said, Hail, Master, and kissed him. Pause. And Jesus said unto him, Friend, wherefore art thou come? Then came they and laid hands on Jesus and took him. And behold, one of them which were with Jesus stretched out his hand and drew his sword and struck a servant of the high priest's and smote off his ear. Then said Jesus unto him, Put up again thy sword into his place, for all they that take the sword shall perish with the sword. Thinkest thou that I cannot now pray to my Father, and he shall presently give me more than 12 legions of angels? But how then shall these scriptures be fulfilled that thus it must be? In that same hour said Jesus to the multitudes, Are ye come out as against a thief with swords and staves for to take me? I sat daily with you teaching in the temple, and ye laid no hold on me. But all this was done, that the scriptures of the prophets might be fulfilled. Then all the disciples forsook him and fled. And they that had laid hold on Jesus led him away to Caiaphas, the high priest, where the scribes and the elders were assembled. But Peter followed him afar off unto the high priest's palace, and went in and sat with the servants to see the end. Now the chief priests and elders and all the council sought false witness against Jesus to put him to death, but found none. Yea, though many false witnesses came, yet found they none. At the last came 2 false witnesses, and said, This fellow said, I am able to destroy the temple of God, and to build it in 3 days. And the high priest arose and said unto him, Answerest thou nothing? What is it which these witness against thee? But Jesus held his peace, and the high priest answered and said unto him, I adjure thee by the living God, that thou tell us whether thou be the Christ, the Son of God. Jesus saith unto him, Thou hast said, Nevertheless I say unto you, hereafter shall ye see the Son of Man sitting on the right hand of power, and coming in the clouds of heaven. Then the high priest rent his clothes, saying, He hath spoken blasphemy. What further need have we of witnesses? Behold, now ye have heard his blasphemy. What think ye? They answered and said, He is guilty of death. Then did they spit in his face and buffeted him, and others smote him with the palms of their hands, saying, Prophesy unto us, thou Christ, who is he that smote thee? Now Peter sat without in the palace, and a damsel came unto him, saying, Thou also wast with Jesus of Galilee. But he denied before them all, saying, I know not what thou sayest. And when he was gone out into the porch, another maid saw him, and said unto them that were there, This fellow was also with Jesus of Nazareth. And again he denied with an oath, I do not know the man. And after a while came unto him they that stood by, and said to Peter, surely thou also art one of them, for thy speech bewrayeth ye. Then began he to curse and to swear, saying, I know not the man. And immediately the cock crew. And Peter remembered the word of Jesus, and said unto him, before the cock crow, thou shalt deny me thrice. And he went out and wept bitterly. Chapter 27. When the morning was come, all the chief priests and elders of the people took counsel against Jesus to put him to death. And when they had bound him, they led him away and delivered him to Pontius Pilate, the governor. Then Judas, which had betrayed him, when he saw that he was condemned, repented himself and brought again the 30 pieces of silver to the chief priests and elders, saying, I have sinned in that I have betrayed the innocent blood. And they said, what is that to us? See thou to that. And he cast down the pieces of silver in the temple and departed, and went and hanged himself. And the chief priests took the silver pieces and said, it is not lawful for to put them into the treasury, because it is the price of blood. And they took counsel and bought with them the potter's field to bury strangers in. Wherefore that field was called the field of blood unto this day. Then was fulfilled that which was spoken by Jeremy the prophet, saying, and they took the 30 pieces of silver, the price of him that was valued, whom they of the children of Israel did value, and gave them for the potter's field, and the Lord appointed me. And Jesus stood before the governor, and the governor asked him, saying, art thou the King of the Jews? And Jesus said unto him, thou sayest. And when he was accused of the chief priests and elders, he answered nothing. Then said Pilate unto him, hearest thou not how many things they witness against thee? And he answered him, to never a word, insomuch that the governor marveled greatly. Now at that feast the governor was wont to release unto the people a prisoner whom they would. And they had then a notable prisoner called Barabbas. Therefore, when they were gathered together, Pilate said unto them, whom will ye that I release unto you, Barabbas, or Jesus, which is called Christ? For he knew that for envy they had delivered him. When he was set down on the judgment seat, his wife sent unto him, saying, have thou nothing to do with that just man? For I have suffered many things this day in a dream because of him. But the chief priests and elders persuaded the multitude that they should ask Barabbas and destroy Jesus. The governor answered and said unto them, whether of the twain will ye that I release unto you? They said, Barabbas. Pilate said unto them, what shall I do then with Jesus, which is called Christ? They all say unto him, let him be crucified. And the governor said, why? What evil hath he done? But they cried out the more, saying, let him be crucified. When Pilate saw that he could prevail nothing, but that rather a tumult was made, he took water and washed his hands before the multitude, saying, I am innocent of the blood of this just person. See ye to it. Then answered all the people and said, his blood be on us and on our children. Then released he Barabbas unto them, and when he had scourged Jesus, he delivered him to be crucified. Then the soldiers of the governor took Jesus into the common hall, and gathered unto him the whole band of soldiers. And they stripped him and put on him a scarlet robe. And when they had platted a crown of thorns, they put it upon his head, and a reed in his right hand. And they bowed the knee before him and mocked him, saying, Hail, King of the Jews! And they spit upon him and took the reed and smote him on the head. And after that they had mocked him, and after that they had mocked him. They took the robe off from him and put his own raiment on him and led him away to crucify him. And as they came out, they found a man of Cyrene, Simon by name. Him they compelled to bear his cross. And when they were come unto a place called Golgotha, that is to say, a place of a skull, they gave him vinegar to drink mingled with gall, and when he had tasted thereof, he would not drink. And they crucified him and parted his garments, casting lots, that it might be fulfilled which was spoken by the prophet. They parted my garments among them, and upon my vesture did they cast lots. And sitting down, they watched him there, and set up over his head his accusation written, This is Jesus, the King of the Jews. Then were there two thieves crucified with him, one on the right hand and another on the left. And they that passed by reviled him, wagging their heads, and saying, Thou that destroyest the temple and buildest it in 3 days, save thyself. If thou be the Son of God, come down from the cross. Likewise also the chief priests, mocking him with the scribes and elders, said, He saved others, himself he cannot save. If he be the King of Israel, let him now come down from the cross, and we will believe him. He trusted in God. Let him deliver him now, if he will have him. For he said, I am the Son of God. The thieves also, which were crucified with him, cast the same in his teeth. Now from the 6th hour there was darkness all over the land unto the 9th hour. And about the 9th hour Jesus cried with a loud voice, saying, Eli, Eli, lama sabachthani? That is to say, my God, why hast thou forsaken me? Some of them stood there when they heard that, said, This man calleth for Elias. And straightway one of them ran and took a sponge and filled it with vinegar and put it on a reed and gave him to drink. The rest said, Let be. Let us see whether Elias will come to save him. Jesus, when he had cried again with a loud voice, yielded up the ghost. And behold, the veil of the temple was rent in twain from the top to the bottom, and the earth did quake, and the rocks rent. And the graves were opened, and many bodies of the saints which slept arose, and came out of the graves after his resurrection, and went into the holy city, and appeared unto many. Now when the centurion and they that were with him watching Jesus saw the earthquake, and those things that were done, they feared greatly, saying, Truly this was the Son of God. And many women were there beholding afar off, which followed Jesus from Galilee, ministering unto him, among which was Mary Magdalene, and Mary, the mother of James and Joseph, and the mother of Zebedee's children. When the even was come, there came a rich man of Arimathea, named Joseph, who also himself was Jesus' disciple. He went to Pilate and begged the body of Jesus. Then Pilate commanded the body to be delivered. And when Joseph had taken the body, he wrapped it in a clean linen cloth, and laid it in his own new tomb, which he had hewn out in the rock. And he rolled a great stone to the door of the sepulchre, and departed. And there was Mary Magdalene, and the other Mary, sitting over against the sepulchre. Now the next day that followed, the day of the preparation, the chief priests and Pharisees came together unto Pilate, saying, Sir, we remember that deceiver said while he was yet alive, After 3 days I will rise again. Command therefore that the sepulchre be made sure unto the 3rd day, lest his disciples come by night and steal him away, and say unto the people, He is risen from the dead, so the last error shall be worse than the first. Pilate said unto them, Ye have a watch. Go your way, make it as sure as ye can. So they went and made the sepulchre sure, sealing the stone and setting a watch. Chapter 28. In the end of the Sabbath, as it began to dawn toward the first day of the week, came Mary Magdalene and the other Mary to see the sepulchre. And behold, there was a great earthquake, for the angel of the Lord descended from heaven and came and rolled back the stone from the door and sat upon it. His countenance was like lightning, and his raiment white as snow. And for fear of him, the keepers did shake and became as dead men. And the angel answered and said unto the women, Fear not ye, for I know that ye seek Jesus, which was crucified. He is not here, for he is risen as he said. Come, see the place where the Lord lay, and go quickly and tell his disciples that he is risen from the dead. And behold, he goeth before you into Galilee. There shall ye see him. Lo, I have told you. And they departed quickly from the sepulchre with fear and great joy, and did run to bring his disciples word. And as they went to tell his disciples, behold, Jesus met them, saying, All hail. And they came and held him by the feet and worshipped him. Then said Jesus unto them, Be not afraid. Go tell my brethren that they go into Galilee, and there shall they see me. Now when they were going, behold, some of the watch came into the city and shewed unto the chief priests all the things that were done. And when they were assembled with the elders and had taken counsel, they gave large money unto the soldiers, saying, Say ye, his disciples came by night and stole him away while we slept. And if this come to the governor's ears, we will persuade him and secure you. So they took the money and did as they were taught. And this saying is commonly reported among the Jews until this day. Then the 11 disciples went away into Galilee, into a mountain where Jesus had appointed them. And when they saw him, they worshipped him, but some doubted. And Jesus came and spake unto them, saying, All power is given unto me in heaven and in earth. Go ye, therefore, and teach all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Ghost, teaching them to observe all things whatsoever I have commanded you. And lo, I am with you always, even unto the end of the world. Amen. So that was the gospel according to St. Matthew, the book of Matthew. So, what'd y'all think? Oh, thank you, Broso Smith. $5 there. Yeah, the collection plate's coming around if anybody wants to. Don't feel like you have to, but if you can help out the temple or the whatever this is, all the talk in that book about false prophets and that sort of that whole chestnut makes me think, what? So why am I doing this? What is compelling me to want to keep reading my book and coming here and join together with some people to talk about it or to read it together. I've been seeing that my whole life, right? False prophets, right? When I was a boy, you'd see it on TV. You'd see like Kenneth Copeland and Joel Osteen, T.D. Jakes, Creflo Dollar, Billy Graham, even. Those people. And there was all, I suppose if one is studied in the scripture to some degree and is a bit discerning, you would notice that there is artifice to what they do, and that is not an entirely earnest proselytation. So is that even a word? Of the scriptures. And we're seeing it again now. There's this I don't know what it's called. I'm seeing a lot online, this like return to tradition movement, this desire that a lot of folks have now to reclaim like traditional values, and part of that being Christianity and the scripture, and their motives and methods seem to be disingenuous. Of course, I'm speaking of Russell Brand, isn't it? Just watching that guy, just whole cloth, become a false prophet before our eyes. I can't imagine the kind of person that buys into that. It certainly does not seem to be genuine or coming from a what he's doing to be coming from a place of generosity, wanting to share in the scripture and community. It seems like he wants to be a lead, like he desires to be a leader or some sort of center of attention, and it makes me think, what am I doing? I love attention, and I like being watched by people, and uh, I like it when praise is heaped upon me. I like when people give me money. That's cool, but I certainly do not want to be a blasphemer. There's other ways to get attention and money, for sure, especially when you possess talent, which with somebody like him is dubious whether he does or not. He certainly has a con man's tongue. He can speak with a certain amount of flourish and silver dollar words to trick people into thinking he has more to say than he does. And he's seems to be successfully using those skill sets to pivot to becoming a basically a televangelist of the same ilk as Kenneth Copeland. He'll be selling golden shovels and apocalypse buckets any day now. Seems like. Um, but then, so I got to think about like what are my motivations, right? When I turn to the scripture and I want to read it with people like I'm doing now. I found an opportunity with this, starting this channel and getting this following, that I could fire up this channel and you know share my interests with people and do whatever I want, and somebody would tune in. I would be able to have a community that I can join with, right? And so I have been through quite the tribulation myself, and so and when I think about what I've gone through, which was seemingly self-inflicted, it's not like just some bad fortune befell me as like a happenstance, like just out of some random act of cruel indifference of the universe that something bad happened to me. I certainly was living in a way that brought upon myself a bad thing to happen. The chat, what are you saying? John Castle says I don't understand what is happening. I'm I'm being introspective and pontificating and drawing from what I've read to enrich my own life and hopefully enrich others. Anyway, so what I'm getting to is that I had my break from reality and found myself at my rock bottom, right? And don't sweat it. Don't get it twisted. There, Brad Mule in the chat. I'm not punishing myself. I'm just what's the word I'm looking for? I'm dipping into the. Did you ever read Harry Potter? The pensive. I'm going back through the memories, like in Harry Potter. The um no, because I'm trying to look when I can only perceive the world through the from the perspective of my own life. So when I read, like I just read the book of Matthew, and I then try to extrapolate from it what its meaning is, what is the meaning of this story, I have my own experience by which to compare the story and think about what are my motivations even for turning to this scripture. What is this? $5 from C Dumps. It was Jesus's plan. You had to suffer too high of a rise. Could have ended up like phony. I mean, honestly, that would have been nice. To be honest, to be honest with you, if I could still be just riding high and just be a completely fake, false, but very wealthy entertainer, living comfortably, that would be pretty cool. That would be nice. So what? Like, there's a subreddit or two that talks about me. That doesn't like me. That's fine. At least I'm getting. At least I have money, and I don't have to worry about anything. I guess. But hey, I'm here where I'm here where I am. I am what I am. Anyway, so what was I saying? So yeah, I guess this is this is like it's funny that me and on the Crowder Boys show, me, Crack, and Robbie were like, this is actually the thing we joke about when it comes to jelly roll. When it comes to Mr. Roll, Jelly Roll, Hoss is the almost like overly saccharine positivity that he presents. This constant like, man, I'm so great. I can't believe the things I've been through. That sort of thing. But I guess what is with somebody like him, what's sticks out to us, like why like why we laugh about that is like he is more than doing okay now, and I don't know. It's just funny that years into him being rich, he's still just like, man, I cannot believe what the good Lord had done for me. To think a guy like me could become something like this. To the point where it almost seems like it does seem kind of maybe a little phony or like a branding, right? You know what I mean? Whereas I guess at least with me, I'm still kind of at rock bottom. So, but hey, look, there's no man more blessed than the other for his own due to his own suffering. We're all just human, right? Isn't that the fun? That's the funny thing about being human is like I guess like, no matter how comfortable you are, whether you're born into comfort or you achieve it somehow in life or whatever it may be, we're all just like still very very human and as such exist within certain parameters. You know, we're all going to get sick and die one day, and so that sort of anxiety, uh, is constantly hanging over our shoulder. Kind of something we must all contend with. So when I broke from reality, when I was crazy and on the brink of either homelessness or death, here's where I am weirdly. How do I say this? I suppose I would say I'm blessed, and I feel a fair amount of guilt about this. The I think there's a lot of people who, if they had gone through something similar, would not have had the opportunity that I did to make it through it. Because I have people in my life that love me and care about me that were willing at any cost to make sure that I didn't die because of my what was happening to me, right? Which is um, a blessing that many don't have. You see it every day in every city. You see people screaming at themselves in the middle of the street and defecating on them in their own pants, peeing on themselves, having arguments with people that aren't there, begging for money. These are the people that broke and did not have any people or support system in their life um, to help them through it. And that could have been me easily if that was what was happening to me. And just fortunately, through as bad as that was, I did have I had and still have people that care about me and love me and will have like shown me to the point where this like unconditional love and support that I can't even understand. You know what I mean? Like I just don't to me to think back on what I put people through when I was in that state of mind, it doesn't make any sense that anyone would stick by me after all that, you know. And so after I went through the worst of it and started to um, get my mind back, I was looking for some sort of foundation for myself, some way to get my feet planted back onto the earth. And this, this is my own my own searching, my own journey, or whatever you want to call it. Through my upbringing was in the the church, the Christian church, the good Christian church, and so I, in any psych ward you go to is festooned with Bibles. There's a lot of Bibles to read in any psych ward. So while I was in the psych ward, I found myself thumbing through a Bible, and then when I got out, I went to some church services, and then when I fell into for lack of a better word, a coma. I don't really know how to explain what happened after that. And then started to come out of that. I once again started reading my book again, my good book. And it, brought me a certain amount of comfort and a a foundation for myself, just a guiding light by which I can navigate where the rest of my life, I suppose, you know. And that's not to say like I'm a fundamentalist or interpret the book literally, or I don't even know how like actually religious I am. You know what I mean? I find this sort of earnest and almost childlike. Like it takes me back to the feeling of a child when the world had more meaning, when everything made more sense. There's not this. I'm not saying that reading the Bible or believing in it is childlike. I just mean like almost like this feeling of security that you feel when you're a child. You know what I mean? Before you realize like how indifferent and chaotic and seemingly almost evil the world is. When you're a child, everything feels like it's going to be okay. The worst thing that could happen is, you don't get the toy you wanted for Christmas or something. You know what I mean? Whereas like now, the worst thing that could happen is, I don't know, I die. Um, and so I don't know. I find a lot of meaning in the scripture that way. Um, and so reading the over these last couple weeks. Well, I started 2 weeks ago the reading series, and then we finished the book of Matthew tonight. Um, it's it's a good story. It's the greatest story ever told, right? Um, yes. What is that? Wait, what are people saying? Yeah, I'm not gonna worry about that, guys. I'm okay. I'm okay. Look, I'm just hey. I'm just thinking out loud here because I guess I see so much like profiteering now. Like there's like so much trying to get one up over on people and grifting and sleazing and conning, and I certainly don't want to take part in that. Or I mean I do. I mean I want I want money, but I would like to receive reward for my talents, not because I'm good at like presenting a point of view to people that uh what's the word I'm looking for? I can't even think. You know what I mean? Like these people out there who are like good at just saying the things to people that they want to hear that they already agree with, and speaking with like a certain amount of confidence that they can develop like a following and get paid a ton of money, and whether they believe in what they're doing or not, they are rewarded for this behavior. And I'm too talented to do that, to be honest with you. Like I understand why somebody like Jordan B. Peterson or Russell Brand or who the Hodge twins. There's just there's so many to name. There's too many to name, right? There's just so much of that now. It's a new age of like grifters and snake oil salesmen who are just able to speak with this confidence and performance that um you know reinforces what people already believe in a way where people think there's more happening there than just the same con job that's been happening forever. I've because I've seen this since I was a child. I saw this when I would go to my grandma's house and we'd watch like the God Channel on cable, and I would see like Kenneth Copeland or Jim Baker on TV. I was like inoculated against this at an early age, so that when I like go online now and I see somebody like Jordan B. Peterson or even like Tim Pool or Matt Walsh or folks, go to partoftheproblem.com, by the way. Uh, you know what I mean? When I see people kind of doing that televangelist thing in the a similar type of performance, I do catch it. Tucker Carlson, whether it has a religious bent to it or not, um, I definitely understand the language that's being spoken, and I don't want to do that. I would look. I want. Here's the thing that none of those guys will ever say out loud, and I will reiterate this. I want money. Let's start there. That's what you won't get from a lot of people nowadays that are trying to exist in a media space or a performance space or whatever it may be, they will never cut through the artifice of it, the window dressing that they, the sort of shawl they drape over themselves of whatever the performance is, and they'll never just say what the real truth is, the actual core truth, which is I want money. And if you start there from an actual place of honesty like that, then we can build out from that. We can build upon that universal truth, a great temple. But it starts with looking in the mirror, saying, being honest with myself, being honest with everyone else. I want money. And it and you know what stings about that? That is very materialistic and is very shallow. That is not what we are told is the good, righteous thing to want or think. There's got to be more integrity to it, or you're supposed to want something else, or the money is like a byproduct of the talent or the thing you're doing. I think it would behoove everyone if we all just started being as honest as possible and saying with 100% truth and honor and sincerity, I want money. Thank you. $5 from C Dumps. You just don't want to have to work. Getting there. I do say that a lot. I don't want to have to work. I mean, the truth is I've worked very hard. I've worked very hard in an attempt to not have to work in the way that I don't want to work. You know what I mean? Like, I never wanted to, and this is not to disparage anyone that lives this way. I don't want to have to like clock into a job I don't want to do. You know what I mean? And so with that, I have done a lot of things I don't want to do and worked very hard and eaten a big pile of doo-doo in my life to try and develop talents and skill sets and the personality and whatever is necessary to not have to like work the way I don't want to work. And it's been immense. It's caused me immense suffering. But I see on the other side of this at some point a veritable paradise for myself where I'm making $65,000 a year podcasting. And what more could anyone ask for? Hey, look here, Pat Dura. Hey, see, that's the thing. I am finding the truth within my own heart here. So funny, Dalton ends his reading of the most prolific Bible chapter by immediately professing his desire for wealth. Hey, look, man, I am but human, and I'm admitting my own. I suppose this would be a flaw, or just humanness. Because what good would it do for me to try and pretend as if I'm something I'm not? You know what I mean? Crack is in here being very smart as well, like wise. I mean, he's not being a wise ass. He's not getting smart with me. He's being very wise. There's nothing wrong with wanting enough money to provide for you and your loved ones. Nothing wrong with a little extra to be comfortable either. Yes. Now, I would like to be very rich. That would be cool. But, you're right. but basing all decisions around money and conforming your morals and values for the maximum amount of money possible is reprehensible. Yes, very true. Boy, am I feeling that these days, working this sales job. I don't think this is going to last, folks. I cannot keep trying to persuade people to buy something I know they can't afford just to try and get a commission check that honestly is still not that much money. Is I'm stressed and I'm exhausted from the constantly just being in this rat race chasing this bag. I got to find a better sales job, I guess. I don't even know. I don't know what I'm going to do. But hey, look, here's the thing. What am I saying? Oh yeah. So yeah, I guess what I'm saying is that I do have this like uh this thing in me where I'm very like motivated by money, which is tricky because it's like you gotta have like money is very necessary, but it's also corrupting to be motivated as such. And so then I have to like battle with myself and say, well, what? Okay, so if that's like the truth of who I am, like that's like what I feel inside, like my actual motivation. What is the like righteous motivation? Like what's the good thing to feel that I don't know if I necessarily feel, but understand is the more honorable, noble, righteous motivation in life. And it's I that would be to live as Christ lived, to be kind to everyone and love each other and spread love and light and message of peace and goodness and go forth and uh, do the mission of spreading the gospel, not for any sort of reward on this earth, and not really for any. I mean, I there's the reward of the kingdom of heaven or whatever, but even that, when it's all tricky because when you start thinking about rewards, like is what's motivating me that if I do these, if I follow these teachings and do the things that I'm reading in the book, am I doing this just so that at the end of my life, when I die, I get to go to heaven? Because that still to me seems like a bit like a material motivation. Like I'm only doing what I'm doing for some kind of reward. And bear in mind, like I guess it bears repeating that I'm thinking through everything, trying to observe from the outside myself, but still understanding that my own actual motivations are not as transcendent as I am thinking right now. I'm doing the big thoughts, thinking about all this. My own motivations still exist in the material plane, which is I want money and comfort. But then if I'm to uh extrapolate from the scripture and draw from that to then try to better understand what are the right motivations. uh I suppose it would just be to 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 I don't even know, man. To love each other, be kind to one another, and try to be good just for the sake of being good, and not even expect any sort of reward or any return from it. You know, um, to live as altruistically and benevolently as possible, um, for no other reason than to diminish to the amount of suffering that's on this earth. You know what I mean? That's I suppose that's like the actual selfless motivation that one strives to find, but there's still just like so many material temptations and motivations, or hey, I do have some money here now. What is this? Oh, Sean from Pittsburgh, $2. Exodus 22, chapter 22, verses 25 through 27. Yes, we'll get to that. First, this is it. I want to do. I'm gonna check on this first. This is interesting. Krakamiko, $5. Can you read "The Road Not Taken" by Robert Frost aloud? I think it would sound good from you. Pause. It is on topic. Okay, I ain't read this since college. When I I never took a poetry class necessarily. I had to take fiction and nonfiction, but then I can't remember why I read this in college because I avoided poetry classes at all cost. The Road Not Taken. Oh, come on, man. Okay, I'll read this. Okay, here we go. The Road Not Taken by Robert Frost. Two roads diverged in a yellow wood, and sorry I could not travel both, and be one traveler long I stood, and looked down one as far as I could, to where it bent in the undergrowth. Then took the other as just as fair, and having perhaps the better claim, because it was grassy and wanted wear, though as for that the passing there had warned them really about the same. And both that morning equally lay, in leaves no step had trodden black. Oh, I kept the first for another day, yet knowing how way leads on to way, if doubted, I doubted if I should ever come back. I shall be telling this with a sigh. Somewhere ages and ages hence, two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference. I've seen that. I saw that on posters in my elementary school classes a lot. But yes, I took the the road not taken, the less traveled. I suppose so. wait, wait, is that I took the one less traveled by? Oh wait, ooh, that's an interest. You know what? Now I'm getting back into college brain because the road not taken in this poem is the one that was actually more traveled. That's the road that was not taken. The road that is being taken is the one less traveled by in this poem. Interesting. I have not had to meaningfully try to study any sort of literature in almost a decade. So when I read things now, I gotta reactivate the part of my brain that I spent thousands of dollars a semester on. Um. So yeah. So reading the book of Matthew, it was like everything that Christ does in the book of Matthew, um, is selfless. It's not for any. He goes into this journey, this mission, knowing that it ends with him getting killed, but still Christ understands that for the betterment of all of humankind, of all humans, they must take on this endeavor. Um, if people are to if the people of this earth are to find salvation, and it's only to his own detriment as a human man, you know. I suppose still the son of God, but very human. I'm sure getting crucified hurt, and I don't think he wanted to do that, as we read in the passages as he's praying in Gethsemane, begging God to not have for him to not have to do this, but he has to do, he's got to do it anyway, right? So that's like as perfect as you can get is the way Christ lived. And you look, the apostles themselves are still tethered to this earth and its people. Judas immediately betrays him for not that much money, it seems like. And then where does that get him? He ends up hanging himself. And then Peter denies him thrice just to stay in the good graces of people, who don't respect him anyway. You know what I mean? And so that's like where I understand the way I should be living and thinking about my life on this earth. And yeah, I'm still must contend with like the human part of me that says I want money, I want women. I want to feel good. You know what I mean? All the very like human things here within me. What is this we got from Sean from Pittsburgh? Exodus 22:25 through 27. If thou lend money to any of my people that is poor by thee, thou shalt not be to him as an usurer, neither shalt thou lay upon him usury. If thou at all take thy neighbor's raiment to pledge, thou shalt deliver it unto him by that the sun goeth down. For that is his covering only, it is his raiment for his skin. Wherein shall he sleep? And it shall come to pass when he crieth unto me that I will hear, for I am gracious. Man, even in the Jew Bible, God was telling these people not to do what they do anyway. Which is usury. Somebody wants to know where the rack reactions are. Hey, look, creativity takes time. So, anyway, so that that was the first of the reading series. We went ahead and read a whole book of the Bible, and believe me, that is it's more difficult than it appears to read at length for out loud for a number of hours. That really takes quite takes some fortitude to deliver the word as such. Really, any word, to be honest. I mean, any book that would be kind of a tough thing to do. A lot of people are, I suppose it's one of my talents is that I can read out loud, because there's a lot of people who cannot. Oh, there's nothing worse than being in school when the teacher would ask the class to popcorn read. Remember popcorn reading? Where somebody would read out loud, and then I guess they would pick another person to read out loud, and then you would have to listen to all these fat-tongued, mush-mouthed idiots try and work their way through To Kill a Mockingbird, and all of us or we were drooling over which one of us gets to read the N word out loud, you know. But yeah, there's a lot of people, you know, and hey, I'm talking about school children, so I guess it stands to reason they wouldn't possess too much of a command over the English language at that time. But hey, even as an adult, I've heard fellow adults try to read out loud, and they come across as borderline illiterate trying to do so. I deal with it at my job every day. Um, there are a lot of people out there where it seems like 12 years of public school did not benefit them at all. Where at least I came out of it with some ability to read and read out loud, even. But man, that was torture in school having to listen to kids try to read out loud, because I certainly was a more smarter reader. I was able to comprehend and read at a faster pace than my fellow students in those days, and it would bore me to tears. It was I would rather have Vietnam bamboo torture done on me than have to listen to a dumb child try to read out loud. But hey, look, we're all God's children. That's something to remember. Somebody's right. I am thirsty. I don't have any water, but I do have a cherry Coke Zero right here. That's better than water. You know, one time I had this fat gym coach. Remember that? When you were in school and you would go to PE, and the guy teaching you PE was fat as hell. And he would still, try and teach us about health. I mean, oh, you got to make sure you're always drinking water. I remember one time we were in PE. This was like 4th or 5th grade, and he was like standing in front of all of us where we were like sitting on the floor as he was delivering some PE talk, and he was drinking a Diet Coke. And I remember this portly PE teacher saying to us with his Diet Coke in his hand, he said, I hate kids. I know I tell you to drink water. And like, obviously this is not water, but it's got water in it. And that was his reasoning for being able to drink a Diet Coke, to rationalize being a hypocrite himself. The Diet Coke's got water in it, so that counts. And I say that to you now. This cherry Coke Zero has water in it, and so I'm drinking water. Anyway, so that's that was the first of the reading series. Went ahead and read a whole book of the Bible. We'll do this again at some point, and eventually we'll have read the entire Bible this way, I believe. And it's going to take a lot out of me, because some of these are pretty long. Hey, I hope everybody's doing okay. I hope everyone that lives in Appalachia and in the southeast survived the hurricane. I hope I want the best for everyone. So yeah, that's it. That's all that. Please be sure. I don't know if there's anyone here who hasn't. I can't imagine. But hey, always BB. P. Plugging. The Crowder Boys is the show that I do with Crack Amico and Robbie Goodwin. I think most people here probably know about it. Crack just did his Kill Tony subreddit AMA, and boy did they love him. So be sure to check that out on Crack's channel, and please, be sure to subscribe to the Crowder Boys YouTube channel. We need 1,000 subscribers to start getting ad revenue to get more money. And the last I checked, we had about 860, so we only need 140 more to get that sweet, sweet ad revenue. So please subscribe to that YouTube channel. And a Patreon for this. Okay, so I'm involved with 2 different Patreons. Please subscribe to one or both of them. There is the Patreon for this channel, which is patreon.com/cornfed with Dalton Pruitt. What happens there is a smattering of wonderful premium content. There's, me and Sal. Everybody loves Sal. We do shows there every now and then. I hit a solo episode there. Last night, Sal had to go visit his family as he wades through the trials and tribulations of, I guess, being homeless. He was able to go ahead and visit his family last night, so he wasn't able to join me. But last night I had on my man Troy Heesh from the Primitive State podcast and Ian William of the band Holy Coast, and we did a great, a little over 2-hour podcast there. So that's over on patreon.com/cornfed with Dalton Pruitt. And then for the Crowder Boys channel, there is patreon.com/the Crowder Boys. And that's where me, Craig, and Robbie, the titular Crowder Boys, have all of our premium episodes and bonus content. So please subscribe to those, and please give us money. Give us presents. We like it when people give us money and give us presents. But hey, more than anything, I want to say thank you to everyone. I love you. I really appreciate the support shown. I appreciate people tuning in, is what I'm saying. Means a lot. That means that's what's most important, is that with the community, right? Community is very important. And that's what's more important than anything. Obviously, we want money. But more than that, we want you to have a good time with us. So thank you for that. Let's go ahead and bow our heads and pray. Father God, thank you for another day. Air in our lungs, God. It feels amazing. This is amazing. It's great. What a blessing this life is. Even though there's a lot of times that it sucks, but I got to remember it's a blessing. And so I want to thank you for this opportunity to experience something so unexplainable and amazing and miraculous, and at times very hard, but ultimately great. God, please just be with the people in Appalachia. I don't know how to pronounce it. Appalachia. Be with them in the wake of this hurricane. Be with the people in Tampa and the parts of Florida that got tore up. Please help them through this tough time, because those clowns over there in Congress certainly are not going to help them. It doesn't seem like they're not going to get the love and support they need from the actual government of this country. So we can only hope that a higher divine power such as you, God, helps them through this tough time. So please be with them, with all the folks who are suffering in the wake of these tempests. God, be with, and you know what? Hey, please be with all of us as well. Just be with us. Let us remember that you're there. You're here with us, and that everything will be okay. I guess at the end of the day, I'm not asking for any sort of like intervention in my own life or a sign or anything. I just want to feel okay. Just want to feel like everything's going to be okay. And I know it will be, because all things are possible through you, God. And so, I just once again just want to say thanks, thank you for everything. What a roller coaster all of this has been, this life, and I'm looking forward to more thrills as we continue to live, God. And it's in Jesus' name that we pray. Amen. uh, oh, what is this? All right, well, $2 from Lucas Danner, Psalm 23:4. Come on. Oh, here we go. Psalm 23:4. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Pause. Me and Craig synced up on that one. Nice. That's a very pertinent verse. Thank you for requesting that one. And hey, speaking of art, I think I'm gonna go check out Terrifier 3 on my day off. So stay tuned for my thoughts on that. Um, they're fun movies. And I like having fun at the movies. They make me a little queasy, for sure. All that blood and guts, but I certainly don't feel watching them a lot of what I would call like fear necessarily. It just kind of makes me feel like I guess like the same feeling as when I watch like Dr. Pimple Popper, they're very exaggerative, exploitive movies that don't instill like the sense of dread or fear as like a more capable horror movie like Halloween or The Thing, that kind of thing. It's more of in the line of the sort of amusement park ride type movie of like Friday the 13th or Nightmare on Elm Street, those kinds of movies where the horror elements are dialed up to such a degree. Saw even, where it's it's a different feeling than like being scared necessarily. It's just kind of being grossed out and feeling like thrilled by it, but it's not like a feeling of like palpable fear, if that makes any sense. Anyway, so I guess I'll go check. I'm going to check that movie out here pretty soon. It's nice they got a big theatrical release. You know what I mean? Like a lot of things just get buried now, and nothing gets a chance to breathe or have any life. And so it's nice that, like, because I remember like a few years ago I was just like scrolling through Netflix and saw the thumbnail for Terrifier, and I was like, what the heck is this look at this clown. And I turned it on and started watching it, and I was like, Jesus, did they film this with a camcorder? It's like a super like gritty. There's no money. There's not. It's not even a movie with like characters or a plot. Really, it's almost just like a proof of concept, like like a demo almost. But I remember thinking like, well, this is at least like kind of fun. He saws a woman in half. And so then when part 2 came out, I watched that at home on Tubi, and I enjoyed it. At least the movie attempts to have a plot and characters with whom one can connect, and it was fun. So I'll go check out part 3. They're marketing it with the people are leaving the theater. They're so grossed out, but they might just be leaving the theater. It depends on the theater, right? They could be leaving for a number of reasons. Anyway, how did I get on that? Oh yeah, I saw the word art in here. It reminded me of that clown. I'll tell you what. If anything, the imagery of that clown of Art the Clown is very like striking. It's already like a iconic, even like even if you look at that clown, you go, wow, this really stands out. And then even if you go watch the movie and go, wow, what a turd this movie is, you can at least say, hey, this clown looks cool. um, and so that I think that's why we're all tuning in to those pictures. Uh, anyway, somebody in the chat wants to know what's my favorite drug. I'm off drug. I don't do drugs. What's my favorite section of the Bible? The whole book, baby. It's all in there. Okay. Pedro says, I just looked up Art the Clown. Is it a comedy? Yes. Okay. I gotta. We've done the prayer, and I was just giving you some closing thoughts. Thank you. I love you. Please be safe, everybody. Good night.